Now, the UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon has appealed for calm as the Central African Republic holds a vote on a new constitution. The country is preparing to hold free elections later this month after 2 years of instability, but there are fears that rival factions could attempt to disrupt the poll. Raya Oj reports now from Bangui, the capital, on how French and UN troops may struggle if violence flares again.
French soldiers on patrol in the capital Bangui. They have been here for 2 years. They are not welcomed by everyone. Along with local suspects, French and other foreign troops have been accused of sexually abusing children and women.
More than 700 cases that was already collected or documented in 2014 shows that beyond this specific or what I call the emblematic case, you do have a widespread issue of violence or sexual violence against children.
French commanders and the United Nations have told Al Jazeera those involved have been dismissed from duty and are awaiting trial. French soldiers have also been accused of siding with Christians against Muslims. The French ambassador denies the allegation.
When one interferes between two warring sides and attempts to prevent any clashes between them, criticism is poured onto him from both sides. We are here, of course, defending the Muslims. We can't leave them face massacres. Our mission is to protect all civilians from any imminent assaults.
In Muslim areas, the welcome for the French is guarded.
The French intervention helped us a lot. It reduced the amount of killing, destruction and looting. However, their role is on the decline, as their number is shrinking. The country is vast, and we do not have an army.
The French force has been cut 2/3 to only 900 soldiers. There are fears that number won't be enough to help keep the peace if fighting flares again between the warring rebels. The change of perception towards Sangaris is not a positive sign. Most people we met here expressed their fears of the worst if the French troops were to retreat. And the worst here means another massacre, killing hundreds of innocents from both sides, as after 2 years, the desire for vengeance is still very much alive. Rawa Oj, Al Jazeera, Bangui.
Well, that's the backdrop to which this referendum is taking place. Now, Tim Glawion is Research Fellow at the German Institute of Global and Area Studies. He joins us live now from Berlin. Thank you for talking to us here at Al Jazeera. Are the conditions right in Central African Republic for any accurate reflection of Central Africans' political will to be assessed? Is there enough safety and security?
No, unfortunately there isn't. The Central African Republic is still very unstable, and the people of the Central African Republic are now asked to vote on a constitution that hasn't even been circulated. So in conditions of unsafety and unknowing, they are supposed to vote on their new constitution.
So this is a pretty redundant exercise then for the people of Central African Republic, and doesn't take them any step further, would you say, to holding free and fair elections and establishing a permanent government?
Well, it is an important step for the elections because the constitution has to be voted upon before we know how the elections can take place. These are the rules of the game. The problem is the constitution is not going to solve any of the real problems that the Central African Republic is facing now. So the content of the constitution is actually, in my opinion, quite okay. There are a couple loopholes, but it is a workable constitution. Just the thing is, the constitution is not what is going to solve the problem.
Okay, what are the fundamental problems then of Central African Republic that need to be solved before they can move further ahead?
Well, the Central African Republic basically has 3 root problems. The one is a very fractured society among multiple lines, and not just this Muslim-Christian divide that has currently always been talked about. And the second is a long history of chronic armed crisis where armed groups and political entrepreneurs become intermingled and undistinguishable one from the other. And the third is a very heavy foreign interference into the political economy of the country. So if the country wants to move forward, it needs a very strong civilian leadership that takes care of all its people in the country and that brings the government services and its justice to the peripheries.
All right, okay, thank you very much. Tim Glawion talking to us live from Berlin on that draft constitution being put to the people of the Central African Republic today.
you very much.